What's good? It's your boy Herb Titter. Welcome back to the show, The Transition. Today I'm talking about living by a code. My parents taught me when I was young that everything that happens in the household stays in the household. Now, that's nothing that we're talking about with abuse or anything like that. It's just the respect of what goes on inside your households and behind your doors shouldn't make it out. Now, here's what I'm talking about is that, when you decide to share your story on Facebook or IG, and people give their rebuttals off of it and it hurts your feelings and all of that good stuff, is that maybe that should have been a story you kept to yourself, or maybe you thought people were going to feel sorry for you when you put the story up, and now it's kind of going in another direction. My dad taught me very young is that you're going to have those moments to where you're going to draw up a W, but it's going to be an L because so many people want to pretend like they're doing the exact same thing that you're doing. We live by a code. My mother made sure when I was young to understand what my dad is doing and that I am still a boy. I am not a man, and this is what men do. Today, I think that because of the broken homes, you have so many young men supposedly being the little man of the house, is that he never really figured out how to be the boy of the house. So he's out in the world with a bunch of men that are and that have taken care of more than one person and put food on the table for more than one person and kept roofs over the head of more than one person. You still got some young men that still don't know how to take care of themselves. I say this now: when you are continuously chasing people to try to get them to understand what type of code we should live by, that right there lets you know you should stop running, because anybody that respects what you're doing, I don't care nature of relationship or not, taught behavior is taught behavior. If one person is telling you not to respect them, then of course that person's not going to respect you. But I live by a certain code. Same thing my dad said. My dad taught me that my mother is doing certain things that a whole lot of people wouldn't do for you. You need to know what's going on, how it's going on, who you're supposed to keep that code with. Today we have so many people that, you got the newest person coming into your circle and you're doing everything and all things for this newest person that you have no idea if they have your back. You have no idea if they are on your side. You have no idea of code with them. They have no idea of code with you. But the respect is so big, and I get it, is because you're trying to recreate who you are, and you're trying to eliminate the mistakes that you made prior to, when the only way you eliminate mistakes is that you actually stop making them. You can't change who you are. You can pretend, you can send your best representative out, but eventually whoever you are is going to come out. The code that I live by now is that, man, if you're on my team, then you already know it. I don't need to explain that to you. You don't need to explain it to me. I've had so many people that have had that understanding that if I got it, then you have it. Money is what makes the world go round, but in that same sense, if this is going to keep you at ease for today and you need to get past that today, then I'm there. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to make sure that we could do those same things. Now, this is not on a day-to-day basis, but I can do that because I got my own bills, and I don't think anybody cares that I have kids, or anybody cares that I have a house note or a car note. So in that same sense, I got to worry about myself first. But understanding that, I'll do what I got to do. Now, my money spends real good with my daughters. You know what I'm saying? I make sure that my daughters are taken care of the best that I can. We talk the best that we can, and the manipulation and all of that other stuff, man, I leave it to the side, because understandably, when broken houses started being like the most popular conversation on social media, everybody act like it was new. But this is not new. As adults, we have to remember that there's a certain code when it comes to kids. Kids need to stay in a kids conversation, and parents need to stay in a parent's conversation. Once you blur those lines, then it's going to happen. But once you continue to lie in front of these kids and they know exactly what's going on, that blurs the lines as well. My daughter asked me, you seem to be who you are. I'm like, man, I don't sugarcoat anything. I made just as many mistakes as anybody else on the face of this earth, but I've won just as many games as everybody else. And I'm going to say I've won more games than a lot of people. I just don't need praise on a consistent basis. I don't need anybody to pet me up. I don't need anybody to raise the roof for me because, I was taught a different way and I was taught a different code. When you live by the code, you don't need everybody to pet you up. I don't need a participation trophy for me doing what I'm supposed to be doing on a day-to-day basis. We seem to be giving those out to the most mediocre actions today. And it's easy because everybody keeps celebrating the fact that you just got up off the couch. One of my longtime friends, partners, Zone Cassius, said it today. A lot of people that's sitting on the couch want to see you continue to be stagnant because they have no idea where they're going. I understand where I'm going, and I'm going to put the pressure on you on a day-to-day basis. I don't care if you don't understand where you're supposed to go or how you're supposed to do it. That's your business. I'm running my best race, and as long as you're running your best race, then it's cool. I put up something, and through social media, I already know because I've been there where I've had to be on the podium with losses and family members that felt like they had something to say or could give me their opinion about what's going on. It's funny how the pot calls the kettle black. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I laugh at a lot of people that decide that they're going to give their opinion on everything that's going on. Kids, mothers, and everything else is that, I live by a certain code. So, I don't talk out of turn, and I'm not talking about stuff that is grown folks' business. But I will say this is that my next CD, I Am Who I Say I Am, Part 2, The Dark Side, I get a chance to talk about my mistakes and I get a chance to talk about everybody else that was connected with those mistakes and what they did too. It's funny how a lot of people can tell you what you did wrong until you start reminiscing on the past as well. And then all of a sudden you get unfriended on all the social media platforms. People change their number because you thought I forgot where you were at in the past as well. I don't have any problems telling my mistakes and saying where I did my wrongs because I'm not perfect and neither is anybody else. And that's what I think we're kind of pushing to the youth right now, and why I do motivational speeches is I want people to understand is that even if you have a natural born talent as a basketball player, you cannot beat a person that has work ethic that is practicing on a day-to-day basis. You got to get in line and lose in order to win. We keep promoting that you're just going to get up, go right in the studio or right on the basketball court or right in the corporate office, and you're going to be the one that everybody likes the most, and you're going to get all the trophies and all of the raises. And these are lies. So if your mom, your dad, your grandma, whoever's telling you these lies, you need to understand nothing has changed from the past to now. You got to get out here and you got to grind on a day-to-day basis. Even if you're at the top, in order to stay at the top, you have to continue to put in work. You got to continue to understand what you're doing, but you got to live by a code. You have to understand that hard work pays off. There is no something for nothing. I get it. When I look at my sons, my older sons, that is what has been preached to them, is that everybody should be happy that they showed up. My work ethic is I'm going to show up and show out. I don't care if you're happy that I showed up or not. Why I say I love away games. When I was playing sports, I love away games because me and my team get a chance to actually sit and really practice with each other, but have that understanding that it is us against them. When you are taught that everybody's just supposed to be happy that you woke up today and everybody's supposed to be happy because you took a shower and you came out for a minute, these are the people that from what I'm understanding, because I seen this on a story, is that the young men today won't be worth anything until they're 40 years old. Now that's unfortunate, but I can see where that is the case in some cases, because a lot of young men are taught that everybody should just be happy that they showed up, and the young ladies now are pretty much being mom, and the young men are getting frustrated because they're being treated like a child. Well, you got to stop acting like a child. You got to get up off that couch. You got to start putting some gas in the gas tank. You got to go to work, pay some bills. You know, if you're wanting to be considered an adult and a person that has a certain code, and you want that respect, then that means you got to go out there and do what the people are doing to get the respect. Like I said, my mother told me day one that everybody's not going to like you, and you're not going to like everybody else. But I can tell you one thing is that people will respect what I do and how I get down. Now, if you're going to measure yourself on me, I don't care if that's my sons. I don't care if that's other younger men, men my age, men older than me. If you're going to compare yourself to me, make sure you're comparing yourself to a grinder. Make sure you understand what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, because I'm doing 4 or 5 things every day. And this is me doing me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need your solidification. I don't need anybody to tell me who I'm supposed to be dating, who I'm supposed to be. I'm a black man all day, every day when I wake up. I see that. So I don't need to date anybody to make that even more evident that I'm black. I don't need to live anywhere to make that evident that I'm black. I'm black every day, all day. And the only people that understand what I'm talking about is black males. So understanding that I don't need solidification from nobody else. And I don't need solidification from black men. But I will say is that we all need to start living by a code, is when we see each other, give one of those, say, hey, what's going on, brother? One of those things, instead of us mean mugging each other, ready to get down at any account with each other. But we want to say, oh man, we're not a threat. But as soon as we see each other, we immediately think threat. And now here comes the tough face, the mean mugging, and everything else. Man, I've been blessed to actually get out of where I grew up at on the southeast side of Chicago and just go around America, man, and get a chance to see difference. And it's a lot of difference. Like, Chicago is like its own country, opposed to being in any other state. Even some of the rougher states still don't compare to what you have to get up on a day-to-day basis. PTSD is huge in Chicago. Everybody that lives in Chicago should possibly get some type of therapy, especially if you stay in the inner city. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much stuff going on that it's ridiculous, but it's a code. If you live by that code, I've lived a long time. I knew how to mind my business. I knew how to maneuver. I knew when to move. I knew when to get in and out. I knew when to pay respects to people, and I knew when it was about to go down. And I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do, And this is the code that I live by on a day-to-day basis now. If you can make it in Chicago, you can make it anywhere. Real talk, Live by a code, man. Understand, everybody isn't the exact same, but everybody isn't out to get you either. Do what you can do. Put your best foot forward. It's your boy Herb Dot, man. Listen, do something for somebody else. Trust me, to give a chance to figure out where you're supposed to be. Live by that code. If you live by that code, you can teach people. You teach people how to treat you. If you feel like you're more, then treat people like they're more. Holla at your boy. I got some more. Come on back.